So I realised that we were recording that and it wasn't doing any volume or any mic. So we're going to carry on. The 85 times 10 is fully repeatable. This is the first one that we've got back, and as you can see, 96s, 97s, this is exactly what we want to do with it. So there is a few different ways to kind of go about. If you're looking for coins to improve your team, head over to lootbar.gg for the most reliable and also the best coins around. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours. Absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. Finishing all of the SBCs. So I'm going to show you the ways that I personally do it, and it will depend on what club kind of state you're in at the moment. So for instance, I know I've just finished a few of the upgrades, a couple of the 95 pluses, and a few of the SBCs from like R9. I did a 94. We've done a few on Mia Hamm. So I'm kind of running a little bit lower on the high rated cards at this moment in time. So what I would do with these, and it is as simple, there's nothing really tricky with this, is I would go ahead and mark down what I've obviously just packed and then put them back in. Now I feel like that is pretty self-explanatory, but what I would do here, and the big thing that we've got this year that we didn't have last year, is having the lovely exchange. What I found last year is I ran out of commons and silvers so early on, which made me go ahead and then put some higher rated golds in and get to that point. But 189 exchange is fantastic. Replenish all of them upgrades with all of the gold commons. So for instance, if we go and throw in a 91 just because he's there, really they have the same sort of value now. I wouldn't necessarily go around and throw like 93 and 4s in if I didn't have to as such, because obviously they're going to be great for all the other SBCs. So I would obviously go ahead and open this first to be able to get all of them gold commons. This is going to then allow me to do more SBCs, put more gold commons in, and save a few more players back. Sometimes you can get something from here as well. It's kind of just that hit and hope really. But at the very minimum, you get a few 94s or 93s. I don't bother with the duplicates on them because it's just so time consuming for what we've got now. So pretty much now at this point, we don't need to do any other upgrades. We don't need the 82 player picks. We don't need any of the kind of buffer SBCs because we could just go ahead and keep putting it back in. Now, you're not always guaranteed a star pack by any means. So it is the whole point now where you just got to open in numbers. That's going to be the best way. I would suggest with the 85 times 10 as well, is by doing it one after the other. Unfortunately, opening up loads, like kind of making loads and then opening them up, really doesn't have that many benefits, to be honest, because you're going to be dealing with a lot of duplicates every single time. Even if you gave up all of your squad, I guarantee you do a couple and you'll end up with duplicates. It just always works like that. So that was probably a bit more than what we needed, but we do need to put a team of the season in as well. Again, when it comes to team of the seasons in, if I know I've got a really low rated one, an 88, a 90, I will normally try and go for them first. If I don't, it's not necessarily the end of the world. So just grinding these in, go with the newest on the gold common and just put in a few of them. You obviously then have to kind of gauge how many cards you've got in. So for instance, right there, I could have taken out a Pedri because I don't think he was duplicate, and then I would know that I've got obviously the SBC done. With that, it is all about judgment. So if you know what you've got, if then you know a team of the season and some gold commons would take it to an 86, I would just open it instantly because obviously you know that you're on the kind of right lines, and it's all about time now. So we're going to get Valverde in this. Who else have we got? We got a Footies. It's going to be good. So, okay, so 95, 97. And this is where the 85 times 10 is absolutely elite. Oh my, so this is the difference now because we've actually got some of the players that I've kept. We've got 95, 97, 94, team of the seasons and a few fodder. Now, when doing SBCs, specifically R9, Eusebio, Hullet. Hullet's a new one today, which is only 7 SBCs, which is nice. Then obviously like the Mia Hamms, the Yaya Toures, all of them. I would then go ahead and normally do 185 times 10, so I'd make sure I've got one in the bank, and then I know I can go wild on the SBCs. So for instance, if we was to go do this, I'll probably keep all of them. I'll put the team of the season in, and instead of putting any of them high rated ones, because they're going to be perfect for another SBC, I would go ahead, whack all these in. We can then do the gold commons, and we should be about right for the 86. 86 bang on, so that's going to be perfect. So I know I've got that set up already, and then I can kind of think, well, what SBCs am I going to do first? There is a lot of choice at the moment. So for instance, we've got the 96 footies. I think that's normally a pretty perfect one. We then also have some of the repeatable ones. So we've got the 93 icon pick. There's 2 of that. We've got the completely repeatable one, which is pretty much the same, but it's just 1 of 3 rather than 1 of 4. We have then the 95 plus, which you can do 4 every single day. Preseason crafting, which I do need to finish. We then have the 92 plus, which is completely repeatable. They normally would be last. So it's really all I'm looking for right now is I would kind of leave these out at the moment. I'd be looking at, for instance, this one, and then obviously the footage player pick. Maybe these 2 if I'm trying to get icons specifically, but at the moment I'm kind of okay with that. And then you've got to judge what sort of players you're trying to do. So I would be looking at obviously a lot of these, so I do need to finish quite a few. If you are still grinding the game out, obviously, we have done quite a few as well, and then you've got icons on top. Now, most of them have got a lot of days left, so there isn't necessarily a big rush, but if you are trying to get this done before the new FIFA's in, if you're looking for something to do, there is a lot to grind with. What, for me personally, I would go with is I would go with anybody that you can't physically get. So, for instance, if I was to go back to kind of the start, we'd look at Eto, Schweinsteiger, Van Persie, Butra, Abile, Kaka. I would kind of miss Hullet at the moment because he is in packs at this point. Same with a Patrick Vieira. I've personally got him. I don't need to do him again. Same with the Pele. I've done one just to show an SBC. Same with Cruyff. Obviously, Lahm you can't get, Raul you can't get, so I would be finishing them SBCs because they're going to be the easiest ones to do, knowing then once I eventually get to an R9, a Hullet, a Cruyff, I have had all the chances properly to be able to get him done. So that is kind of where I normally go with it. For instance, I'm doing the 96 footies here. I'm pretty sure this can have icons in as well. I think it does. 1 of 3 premium footies, heroes or icons. So that's going to be a big one. Again, I know most of them are great to the game anyway, but we are looking for some of them big players still. So for instance, with this one, I know I've got my 97, my 94, and obviously then I will put in a couple of these players as well. Obviously being a 90 rated SBC, maybe you want to spread something out, but I normally just go with whatever the duplicates are in, and then for instance we'll chuck a team of the season in, and then we'll kind of sprinkle a few extras in there as well. Whether that's going to be enough, well, apparently it is, so we can go ahead and get a few more golds in there as well. Who have we got? 86. So what I do is I just throw a few 86s in there and then maybe throw in an 85 if we can get it that low. Now, 9 times out of 10, you've probably got it as low as you can. By the looks of it, we might actually even be able to go considerably lower. And that would mean what I would possibly do there is I'd just chuck out that, and then I'd throw in like the 88, try and get the SBC up a little bit more, and then I would go ahead and use the 97 in the next one. So maybe not necessarily chucking all the duplicates, but as long as you know you have got enough fodder to go for the next one, you're not going to be then kind of worried about all of them duplicates. So for instance, the 89, we can go ahead and chuck in all of the gold. So another good way to do this, squad builder, gold. We then have kind of the base down of what we know. So we've got an 87 already. We don't need a team of the season. So what I would normally do there, throw in my 97, maybe throw in a couple of the 89s if we can to obviously get it bumped up. We'll get another 91 and then that might be enough. But what I normally do is try and just put a few extras in because obviously you don't want to have to keep coming back to it. But the 97 is an absolute must, which takes it to 88. We'll then potentially get it to Odegaard. Perfect. So that's that done. All the duplicates done, and I would just go again. Keep going until you get a big clump of players together that are duplicate. If you manage to get 2 or 3, it's absolutely perfect because then obviously we can grind it in. So this pack we're going to get take a Burkamp. He's the only one we need from there, and it's just another one added to the collection. And again, I would just do this again, and then we get another 2 more times in 2 more days. So that is absolutely perfect, and we can go back to opening packs. And obviously we do get the tradable packs, which is always nice, that we can open and just pretty much discard. There is very little players now you would keep that are tradable, to be fair. So I normally get rid of them. Eventually you'll open up another promo pack with them, or finish an evolution that costs coins, and you can just keep grinding it around like that. At this point, coins and other stuff like that are just non-needed at this point now, because we are at Endgame. There is literally 19 days or so, 19 to 20 days until we get into FC25, and this is a good grind. But whether you want to do it now or wait until obviously FC25 comes, because again we're going to go into a big grind again, that is absolutely fair enough. We managed to get King in the first slot, Bruno Gomes, that's Bentancur. I don't know why I wanted to say Douglas Luiz there, but we do have, I want to say we have King. Oh my. Okay, these are packing out nicely. So that, again, we could go ahead and go straight into another one with just this, but because it's only one duplicate, I'll go ahead and use him in the 86. We'll use a team of the season, and you just keep grinding it round. It's absolutely lovely to do. Personally, for me, I just like packing the big boys. I want to get an Mbappe, I want to get an R9 and an SBC, or pack him, which is always nice. So it just kind of brings the time down a little bit, because there is still 20 days left. There's still a good amount of time. Whether you want to play with these players or not, it's down to you. Honestly, you've got loads and loads of time until FC25 if you wanted to get on with the big guys, because it goes back to the basics once we hit the first week of FC25. Back to the 82s to 86s. There's nothing too crazy until we then get probably to Black Friday and Team of the Year, which again is just another slog of a grind. But that's all you've pretty much got to do. It's a lovely grind. I like that the 85 times 10 are now fully repeatable, because the 84s were good, and if you consistently did them, you could obviously get a decent bang for your buck. But the 85 times 10 definitely stands out in rating, and if we do get lucky enough to get an 86 times 10, then again it just bumps up one more. So the final one, we get a team of the season. It's gonna be Algerian CDM. It's gonna be, I can't remember his name, Bentalab, yeah. So nice little pack. Anybody else? Tony Kroos, Kondogbia, they're paying out big time.